Want to see for KC, I kind of like what they brought to the table as well. Like, you've comfort for Khan on the Rumble. The Bard has been a massive pick for Busio and something he roams quite effectively on, so he can try and help cover some of these early aggressive plays from Reload DCG.
I do feel like Fung and Chelsea have been standing their ground quite nicely in this bottom lane so far, as Yike can try his hand at a bit of an engage, or an invade, I should say.
It doesn't have the smite, Pop9 does, so there it is. I think he was hoping if you could get the steal, he'd hit 6. But...
Oh, okay, Yike with that on-target ability now on cooldown. Chelsea moving over, though, as there's the flash hookshot. Yike getting taunted, taken down, first blood over to Pop9.
Great response from Reload DCG.
A real point of power here for Reload DCG if they can make that one work. As Busio moving on down, Fung, oh dear, this is the power point that I was talking about. The ulti comes through from Yike. He can drop the aggro quite comfortably, but that's a beautiful arcane shift, and utilizing Hong in order to stay alive. The defensive play out of this PCS squad working out beautifully.
A good read by Hongso to get down towards that bottom lane.
And as we set up a little bit earlier, this is exactly where KC want to be.
Yeah. This is exactly how they were in the LEC. It was play slow, stack dragons, play for team fights, and oftentimes you'd actually see them in a deficit in the early stages, which was kind of surprising because we got towards the end of our regular season. You can see this basically this like trading back and forth of the vision, right? Because you're getting a little bit of the playing towards this side. You got like some wards that are going down as well, and basically it's just Reload DCG trying to spot out where Yike is to make a play.
Well, they found Yike. I think they found Yike. Florin has found him and is now just going to flash over the top of him. A little bit of leapfrog there, gets the shield, and the last dagger will get him. Little doggo goes down. Yike says that's all right, a worthy sacrifice, and that's a solo kill. And it will just mean that this second dragon going over to KC. And it looks like there is going to be zero contest. Yeah, Hongshu just going to be moving towards his bottom side. And Callista even with some spare time on this outer turret. Not exactly the greatest opportunity for a reset there. And that is going to be the Rift Herald going over on the other side. So at least Reload DCG getting something done.
TP though.
Okay, looking for an angle here. His hookshot is pretty good. Hextech Ultimatum coming on down here as Busio in a fair bit of trouble. True Shot Barrage connects. And Busio still alive, Winds of War will take him down. And Florin not going to be able to find an angle here, but is at least able to defend on the other side. And Rift Herald just immediately goes down top lane.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you got the kill. You defended that bot lane turret, and Chelsea, oh, hang on.
There's an ulti out of Florin, finding Canna here, slowed down for a very long time, and actually tanking up the turret just a little bit. Equalizer is decent, though. Now Florin, he's the one in trouble. The overheat from Canna, but now Florin able to get a few extra autos in. Yahoo's made his way down, though, and that is going to spell the end of that play. Casey looking for another one on the cross map as it's a double for Yahoo in picture. Oh my goodness. Okay, Casey spring to life, and now the gold lead is real. Bit of damage here from Fung, but not really too worried about it. And Pop9 and Chelsea moving on in. That is a Q that's going to be taken here just to taxi Pop9 over. Great safeguard to get out of the Tempered Fate. As over the wall goes Yike. True Shot Barrage is going to connect, but I think that he's just out. And connects the Sonic Wave. How did that get past the doggo? Oh, he's got to feed his kids a little bit more, I think, as he will be taken down there. And now, Reload DCG with some options on the map.
To get the kill, setting up now for the push on top side for a tower. That's some massive snowballing gold in towards Reload DCG.
Yeah, a little bit of a swing back at this stage of the game is going to feel absolutely fantastic. As the dust settles, it's still about 1,000 gold. Expiration date. As we get later and later.
Yeah, but I think you can see why Pop9 has been so crucial to this team and making plays, and now Chelsea wants one more.
Oh dear, yep, you're not going to be able to take that magical journey as down goes Busio. The beauty of Camille into Bard.
Yeah, Tides kind of feel like they're shifting here a little bit.
They're going for even more here as Yike does cancel the back. Yeah, who gets kicked back as well. The Q going to connect as Pop is going to dive on top of him, and True Shot Barrage wipes out the rest of those Chihuahuas.
Reload DCG have come alive off the back of just a couple of picks. They get the tempo lead.
Playing around when they're strong in the game based on their composition. It's working out very nicely, but 30 seconds on the next Drake. That's going to be soul point for KC.
And I think with all that massive gold influx, they would like to reset and then try and get those TPs in. Got some nice picks. I don't know if they're in a spot to fight this dragon.
Well, they're going to go for it as there is the ulti out of Florin, dives on top of Busio as wow, that is a freeze frame. I've not seen that one before, and down goes Busio here. Kanner is going to look to burn down Chelsea, but he pays for it with his life. The flash out from Florin almost keeps him alive, and Yike is going to fall. The flash over from Fung just to make sure as the Ezreal grabs a double. Callista's still alive though at full health. and Hongsho needs to be really careful. He goes back in. The Winds of War as Fung wants to be able to finish them off, but he's the last man standing, and it looks like KC will be able to get themselves out with a one-team fight.
But KC aren't really in a position to start up this dragon, and Xiaoxi's coming back out from base. The ultimate will be up and available as KC want to take the fight. Kalist stepping up.
Be an opportunity for Drake to go over to DCG, and actually, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
As we come out of the replay, will be the secure. So starting off for a Quadra Cloud Soul is there's Kalist getting locked down in the Hextech Ultimatum. True Shot Barrage connects onto Yike, and Kalist taken out with the Mystic Shot beautifully after he does come out of stasis. Busio, that was not a magical journey that you were looking for, sir, as the bottom lane's wiped out. No, wait, K, and they are just bursting this. This Baron's just gone.
Yeah.
KC now have the information. Busio can get a magical journey down, as there's the Tempered Fate to buy a little bit of extra time. But Yike, I don't think he's going to get here in time. That is going to be the secure on the Baron. The two-man on the ulti out of the Orianna is brilliant. The Shockwave, fantastic. Get the Hextech Ultimatum comes in. There is the drop from the Galio, but only a two-man taunt. It is going to be Busio falling down, but this team fight is all KC all day long, and they wipe them from the rift. Cool Baron, guys.
Real of DCG wanted more, and they end up paying for it. Karmine Corp sideways and get into position. They should be in a decent spot. Dragon in 50 seconds. Fung needs to be careful.
Yeah, Tempered Fate is going to get sidestepped there quite nicely, but Yike just bounces over, and there's a kickback onto Yike, but it doesn't really do too much of anything at all. Xiaoxi is looking to try and keep him busy, but down goes the Lee Sin, and it looks like Real of DCG have just kind of fallen apart over the last few minutes. Florent going to get pulled back by a shockwave out of Yahoo, and realizes that he's going to have to publicly execute himself. And that is precisely what happens.
Kana may want more, just waiting on Yike to show up here. And it looks like it could be the clean ace.
Yeah, I kind of thought that that was going to be the end of the bad news here for Real Life DCG, but it just keeps on coming. There is the ace. And KC moved themselves to a 3.5k gold advantage here at 26.5 minutes.
Yeah, they're going to get mid-tower. They're going to get the dragon. They're going to probably get a little bit more on this bottom side as well as that wave starts to come in. So KC swinging this gold lead massively back in their favor.
Well, that was a passage of play, was it not? I feel like the game kind of just fell off a cliff.
Yeah.
Ah, there it is. There's the cliff.
There's the cliff, yeah. Yeah, I think it was a little unfortunate with the kick from Pop 9 because it kind of repositioned Yike into the best possible position after they killed Fung. So a little unfortunate there as Chelsea funds Busio. It's these pieces right here that I'm worried about. That's the really hard part. And
getting in on the Coinbase gold grind. In the meantime, though, there is a little bit of a team fight as there is the Tempered Fate into the backline. Kalist is going to get locked down and taken out, but have they done enough? That's the question. Kanner is going to say yes as he pulls out the Flame Spitter to get the answering kill, but that is 80 carry down. Let's take it. I mean, look at this vision control. There is, there's some scrying orbs and things like that. They do get this ward over the wall for Xiaoxi, who goes in with a flash, gets on top of Yahoo, and just promptly dies. True Shot Barrage does sail over the top, and the Equalizer not doing a massive amount, as there's the Guardian Angel pop there for Pop 9. Hong, so just going to fall, and it's a double for Kalist. I think KC may have just dropped the wallets on them, and I think a bit of a wallet reset might be necessary here for our PCS squad, as it's a quadra for Kalist.
Look like they'll be picking up this first game.
I do like that Real of DCG died on their own terms. You know, Xiaoxi just going in. He's like, well, if we're going to make it happen, it's going to have to be off our own engages, as he does it again. Just as his Nexus turrets are falling down. But KC, slow and steady, absolutely winning the race on this one. And they just found that one opportune moment and ended the game. Heal as you team fight and things like that. This looks a lot more like a 1-3-1 comp coming out of DCG. But if you look at the team as like what their just play style is, which is play fast and loose, play for the early stages, this is beautiful. This is not the happy fun times of it just in general. And Kanner is right now having a very good time on the note.
Yeah, I think it's also... Oh, hang on.
Oh, dear. A little bit more of a battle. I'm sure we'll let you talk at some point, as he doesn't have flash anymore. Xiaoxi is just dead. First blood goes over to Kalist, and that is exactly not who you want to be getting first blood. Oh, dear. We might be certifying this very, very, very early.
Now that he's on the rail, already starting to roam, starting to make plays, it feels like a much better spot for KC.
Well, Florin for an engage, but not exactly optimal timing here as the flash now from Kanner gets the wallop and down he goes. Oh dear, that blink of an eye, and that's just 2 kills over to KC. So
I do think that Kana has played the matchup very well. Like, even in the first few levels.
And he's a great NAR player in general. Oh dear, we are going on a journey here, but the Petrifying Gaze does so much. Hongso is going to have to flash away. That gives up the correct LeBlanc, and now Pop9 flashing out of the Noxious Blast. KC can do no wrong. And they're looking for even more. Xiaoxi is going to go down yet again. The Dawning Shadow to try and keep him alive as he flashes to get to relative safety. But Callist still just having the best of times.
The tickles, though, kind of doing a little bit more. Xiaoxi has to be careful. Gets a ward that means that then Florian's not able to play hyper-aggressive on the level 1 and use that counter-strike effectively. So getting that early push, and I think it's since that, Kana's just been in solid control of this top lane matchup. And even Xiaoxi, basically with this dragon something.
Callista's just going to skate on over and grab another kill. What? Hang on. Rel isn't a jungler anymore, right? Vision does go down, but immediately the lights are turned out. And let's see whether they can keep themselves alive under this one as Callista moving up. Does take a little bit of damage, but not too much. Pop9 making his way over. And there is a hook onto Callista. He needs to get to the wall, and he does skate it on over. Good buffer there as well. Piercing Darkness comes down. He's looking to use the ulti just to try and escape. He flashes, and the auto doesn't come through. Avoids the ulti, as there's the barrier to avoid the sigil. And it's actually DCG that lose out on the play.
How the hell did Callista not go down?
Dead. But is not going to be taken down on the scoreboard just yet. And Yehu now underneath this turret. They're looking for Feng as Yike comes on over, and I believe he might be dead, ladies and gentlemen. And as it turns out, I was correct once again. It's like if I could take a Drake, surely I can take a
I mean, he has Shattering Smite, so might as well try, you know?
Yeah, exactly. I was like actually just checking. I'm like, hang on a second. I thought he had Aftershock. Another turret falling down as well, most likely towards that top side, as Canna is not going to let him back for free. Busio coming on over as well, as there is a crash down, and the Vault Breaker comes in from Yike as he makes his way out of the bushes. Xiaoxi's able to get himself out of there, but the Extendo Beam will flash out from Xiaoxi, and now Canna, obviously he was between enemy turrets in the top lane, so he comes on over, grabs themselves a kill, and now Pop9 getting his vaults broken as well, that will be able to get himself out of there with that flag and drag. It was Kingzone Dragon X versus Fnatic in Worlds 2017.
Wow.
And that was the Dancing Shelly game.
That's so long ago.
It is a long time ago. I think that was about 9 years ago, if I can do math correctly. On stream, ladies and gentlemen. As that is going to be the Drake secured. Perfect game still going here. As Mountain Drake, that's a good perfect game Drake.
Yeah.
Makes you more durable, you know? As KC looking to take down this outer turret in the mid lane as well. This gold lead, I mean, this was the insurmountable lead that we had in the last game.
Yeah.
Later
Yeah,
than this.
it's barely 14 minutes in.
You guys may not be able to see, but it's a lot of sad eyebrows.
I do try my best Amelia Clark impression.
Well, Busio looking for an angle here. Magnet Storm absolutely phenomenal, as there is the ulti to lock down the enemy jungler. Xiaoxi trying to use some popcorn chickens to escape, and it is not going to work out. A teleport in from DCG, though. They're going to try and throw the house at this one, and Florence going to have to get out of there. Yike wanting more, and he has so much health. Like, this is just ludicrous. Feng's going to have to flash away and lead them on a wild goose chase to try and stop the battle. Extendo Beam actually hitting as Yike comes on over, does get snared, throws out the smite, but he's got Vault Breaker to get over that wall, and Feng is very, very dead, ladies and gentlemen. It's just going to take a little bit of time. There it is.
I was kind of hoping that he would run so far that Kana just kind of got to step in the lane for a second and get another kill, and then go back to killing minions again, because that's kind of just been his modus apparatus.
Yep. Yeah. By the way, it was Longzhu, not Kingzone. However, that is theoretically the same team.
Yeah.
And for all intents and purposes. They did become Kingzone a bit later. So just as a little bit of a heads up, that is the perfect game that we are chasing. And it is still on the table. Being lost or anything like that, like I am, as it's a 10,000 gold lead, 17 minutes in. The game time we're chasing is approximately 21 minutes. We'll see whether they can beat that as well, as their cease and desist onto Pop9. He just explodes, and they look to try and lock down Callista. He flashes away and doesn't get over the wall. There goes the perfect game, but KC is still looking for the team fight, and I think they'll find it as Canna makes a pretty dramatic entrance as he crushes over the wall. And KC, yeah, it's not perfect, but it looks pretty close. But otherwise, for the comeback,
it's also like for game 3, it kind of feels hard for Relove DCG now, because it's, well, we're supposed to be the fast team, and like pick up the pace and overload places. And
Still
then I'm like,
fast.
yeah, but it's
Just
the
not
other
fast
direction.
to the winning.
Yes, yeah. And
Didn't really need to rub salt in the wound, but it is a bad news story, and the conversation about a scaling center is just not real. As Kalist, depth charge does come on down. Florin finding the angle there. Blasco gets him to relative safety though, and Kalist is still able to rain death down from safety. Petrifying Gaze is not scary at all, but there is a dead Florin, and Yehu is just running amok. Yeah, nothing that this center can do. And 3 on the floor here for DCG, and there's the Shelly, not quite dancing, but just getting some work done by herself here in this top lane. As this game is, I mean, it's been over for quite some time, but it is an absolute shellacking here for KC as they look to take themselves a Baron and break open the base.
yeah, I respect the effort from DCG, like throw a Hail Mary, see if it lands, but yeah, KC able to escape away. And yeah, the Shillelaghs are out. Everyone's just kind of getting bonked on the head at this stage.
Phenomenal one to get, because it just makes you way more durable while you're already doing bajillions of damage.
Yeah, I think Gliss needed like 1 death sooner though, you know?
Yeah. It's all right, there's Magnustorm onto 2, looking real good there as Kana is going to be the focus here of DCG, and you've got Hongso moving on over. That will be a dead Gnar, but can they then keep themselves alive in this fight as Fung's going to go down? Petrifying Gaze for a bit of damage onto the Jax, who dives into the backline and immediately dies. It's Yike in that backline though, looking for Hongso, and no amount of funny business is going to save you from the devastating damage of this Vi and Zeri combo. Pop 9 is very dead. That's a double kill to come through from Kalist, getting some revenge after that previous death. It's going to be an ace, and this will be inhibitors. Busio is also just going to, I think he's surveying the area right now. Actually he is, as it turns out. Okay. Busio clearing out vision. Not a lot to clear, as it turns out, although Yike is standing on the 1 ward, or 2 wards, that are here, and that is going to actually potentially cost him his life, as Yehu trying to save him, and Yike will be going down to his GA. Extended beam comes through from Kalist as the rest of KC trying to move on over. That is a decent Petrifying Gaze, but Yike will still be taken out. Comeback question mark? Maybe an opportunity as the flag drag flashes real nice from Pop 9. And there's the depth charge onto Yehu as well. Can they get another one as the snare comes down? Hongso, great timing there as well as he gets the distortion forward. But Kalist is looking to wipe down Fung, and the Gnar ultimate from Kana as he turns up just to lock the game down. They thought they had a chance for a few moments. But in the end, it is just not enough. As Hongso trying to do some weird stuff, as Kalist says, you're probably just going to die, sir. And there is the dash kill and the ace as Kalist goes to 10-1-7 in this game. 5-0-10, 6-1. These scorelines are just absurd. Out of KC, they have got so much money. It's almost a 20,000 gold advantage as the first inhibitor is going to bite the dust. In DCG, it is all over but the crime.
Yeah, it's rare that we get to the legendary 20k gold lead, but it looks like we will get there this game.
Like, whoa! I don't know. Maybe it resets to 0, and then you've got an even game state. But outside of that, I think that we might just be just able to do it, as that is just going to be Mountain Salt to come on through here. And if KC weren't really far ahead before
in the DCG base.
Yes. Florin isn't. He is getting the first turret for DCG. There you go. Next turret's going down, though, as now Kana looking for a bit of an angle. Finds a house. Not too much more, as now Florin on a decent flank angle, wanting to get towards Kalist if he can. But everyone else is in position to try and keep this Zeri safe. And Florin's just going to get pushed away. Yehu actually just being relentless, just getting him out of there. Oh my goodness, looked like the Magnustorm did that damage, but it wasn't. It was the damage dealers out of KC just doing so much work. And we don't want to show it. We're not allowed to. It's just too much obliteration as we'll go back to Kalist locking down this Nexus. And that is match point over to KC. To 1-3 in this series.
Hey, there
See,
you go.
1-3. That's what he wanted. He wanted the 1-3, so he picks the 1-3 champion in order to make it happen. The stats team trying to feed me the negative stats, but we turned it around. And if you're not going to be landing your bone skewers, then this lane can really run away from you pretty quickly. But there is a bone skewer that's going to connect. Kalist already down very low. Barrier used from Fung just to keep himself alive. But KC stand their ground. Now the heal comes out. Great fourth shot there as Feng is gone. Oh, first blood over to Xiaoxi, and Busio going to answer it as both AD carries lying on the ground. Xiaoxi now wanting to try and get in on top of Busio, but he hits level 2. Topside is doing a very similar thing.
With all these summoner spells gone on the bottom side, though, I think...
Wait a sec. Canna slicing, dicing. Florin does manage to get that shield as he charges up the Q. Maybe an opportunity here as he gets a grass proc there as well, but the ward goes down, and Canna just one more, and that's a dead Scion. Solo kill for Canna on the Renekton. And man, this player is just how I remember him, man. It's certainly looking good so far. KC not going to contest this dragon that looks to be taken here by DCG. Certainly on the positive side of things, as Hongso going to get thrown back towards Yahoo, taking a lot of damage there as well as he gets the flux down and lands the Q. That is going to be the Mountain Drake secured here by DCG.
Yeah, I do wonder what the...
So we don't need that many clouds. I just feel it, you know?
Yeah.
It's getting turbulent out there.
I mean, it is incredibly warm outside, so maybe it's to try and, like, cool us down.
Yeah, we do kind of need it.
Yeah.
We also have a massive fan here.
Yeah, which is amazing.
Which is amazing, but it is very windy.
Yeah.
So maybe that is creating some cloud vibes just on the caster desk. Maybe that's why I'm feeling it. That's all right. You have DCG now moving over. Canna and Yike are very strong at this point in time, though, so maybe not something that they want to look for, although Funk down here as well. They do spot them out.
Xiaoxi is here as well.
Some stun value onto the Wukong. Pulls him back with the Bone Skewer, but Warrior Trickster is going to be there. There's a run forward from Hongso as Yike gets on top of this Jin. They take him out with the double Cyclones, and Callista's going to get over there. It is Yike falling though, and Callista's just dead. Death from below comes through. It's a double for the Rise. The curtains are being called, and DCG with their first big lead of the series.
Xiaoxi with a huge hook there, interrupted Callista.
Money into the team as well, as now Pop9 is dead. Okay.
Huge. So I think that's what they're trying to set up for, but...
See if the angle is going to work out here as they do spot this ward that was giving a lot of information over to KC. And I think maybe just giving up Double Dragon could be the right way to make this one work, as the train is about to leave the station. The curtain's looking to be called as well. And the clone going to get pulled back. And that is going to be the end of the aggression. It's a Hextech soul this game. Very, very strong.
DCG going top here, though. I think they want to look for a play towards Canna.
And because of that, Xiaoxi is in the bottom side of the map.
Yep. There it is.
As per usual is okay. Canna realizing that going southward would be the option here, as Canna is just going to be locked up and taken down. That is a huge overload towards top side. And that's kind of cute because there is a Rise. Puns.
Well played.
Thank you. So he's all right.
Oh, wait, did they get a timer here on the resets? Yahoo could be in trouble.
Yeah, they're going to wait for that back, and then Yahoo. Oh, dear, Busio is able to cancel, and they throw Xiaoxi onto the turret, so he's very dead. And now Florin also might be going down. They did wait for the reset. That was a cute maneuver. But they just kill Xiaoxi, and now Florin is in a lot of trouble. Has to flash the seismic shove. They're looking for even more.
Pop9 in trouble as well.
Now, yeah, top side of the map. Yike at full health here, looking for Pop9, who wants to get himself out of the way. The Rift Herald has just spawned, but there's a Cyclone to wipe out the Kiana. And now Yike is just going to turn that into Rift Herald as well.
We'll get that Rift Herald. Xiaoxi here, but no support for him.
Well, 2 Drakes, you know, DCG, they still have a gold lead. There's still positives to look at, but that is a few mistakes in a row here. Yeah, and Yahoo hasn't died so far this game, so it's not really working. Teleports come in from the Scion, though, and Deadly Flourish is going to be avoided as the Realm Warp to try and get this Scion in here. The Q somehow misses, but the Bone Skewer doesn't. Wild Growth comes down. Yahoo stays alive for such a long time, but is finally taken out. They trade mid laners as the Rift Herald is going to be taken by Yike to say goodbye to the rest of the engage.
But he's now just in the middle of DCG. He'll get Terror, but does he just... Do they jump on him after?
Away, I think walking away is going to be his strategy. Back in. Okay, Shelly getting involved once again. We've got some flashes coming on down as Busio flashes out of the way of the stun from Xiaoxi. A second charge as Yike is just putting Shelly through her paces.
Busio run!
Say thanks to that one, as Busio is very dead, but probably worth. And that is going to be now Pop9 engaged on. Yike gets the Nimbus strike out, takes him down. Xiaoxi is dead again. I swear it was the same team fight, and he's died twice as Florin is now just going to be ushered to the death chamber. and KC just win and then win and then win again.
Into the tower take, and I was just like, oh, I thought DCG would just collapse onto Yike. Like, he was so far away from everyone, but instead they got Busio alive, and Hongso's dead.
Hongso is once again dead. Replays are really difficult in this particular game. I feel like as soon as we come out of them, someone on DCG is dying. This time, it's Hongso drew the short straw.
The old McDonald's farm,
yeah, the menagerie. It's looking pretty good.
Yeah, it's because it's also the fact that Callista's now ticked over to 2 items like Infinity
Edge.
Edge.
What kind of farm do you have that has monkeys and crocodiles in it?
Oh, no, it's probably like
they make them.
There's going to be a Netflix documentary.
Oh, Death from Below.
Yeah.
That is a dead Yahoo. They finally found him on the inner turret. Still 2,000 gold lead, but Florin will be able to close that gap just a little with a take of this top lane outer turret. And some more money going over to the Scion. A little bit more devastating than it could have otherwise been. Yike just continuing to take enemy Raptors away over and over again. Any opportunity he can get. Now Shousey looking for a bone skewer, finds it on Busio. Deadly Flourish is good as well, but he does have the McHales to keep himself safe, and now Florin just taking damage from all over the place.
Yeah, very much needed, because that, as you say, could have been more than just the Drake going over. But that was a weird fight from DCG. Like, Ultimate's kind of being popped hyper defensively, and it just meant that KC got to run them over.
Yeah, they were just trying to get out more than actually trying to fight, going for these opportunistic plays.
But Callista is not taking any sorts of risks. They're just waiting for those side lanes to push back out, and then when DCG have to respond, that's when they go for it.
Oh, Chelsea is, just going to engage for Yike. Gets the first Cyclone down. There goes the Pike as Yahoo gets into the backline, flashes away immediately. Realm Warp, they're trying to take it, but the stun and Hongso says absolutely not. And now Florin just going to have to try and walk his way out. It's not going to work. He's put into the blender and absolutely slaughtered. KC just wiped the floor with them here at 25 minutes.
KC playing so patient.
Then we'll have the Rebel Baron power play, and that will only be extended. This is the exact way you want to take a Baron, by the way. We see a lot where the Baron gets started, but then you've got the fight.
Like, domestically are incredibly impressive. And like their story, moving up this gear is sick. Maybe?
Well, possible angle towards Canna here. 1 versus 5 is not going to be something that he's going to survive, but the Supreme Display of Talent I don't think was necessary. They do take a Baron off the Rift, but they are going to lose an inner turret here towards his bottom side. We'll have to check in on that Rebel Baron power play as this goes on, because we'll have to see whether that was worth it or not. Because they do take the inner turret, and that is going to push that one over the 800 that they'd already collected. Well, 10 seconds until Canna is back again. He's got teleport at the ready, and so they can get back onto the front foot pretty quickly as Hongso... Oh, dear. Yep, there's the Weaver's Wall, and the Cyclone to try and keep him on top of it. In goes Yahoo, and down goes Hongso. Nothing he can do about that one. And he was the carry. He was the guy with all the money on the side of DCG, and now he is no longer on the Rift. Inner turret going to fall as a result, and KC, they can continue pushing this one forward. This could just be base broken.
I think it might be. Reset from Shousey as he was in that bottom side, but get him back towards this top side. But you just don't have members there. Like, Fung's in the jungle.
Yeah, and who is going to be able to do anything to kind of stop this? The answer is not Florin, from what I'm seeing. They take down the inhibitor very, very swiftly. Now looking for a little bit of a rotation towards this mid lane, as Canna had dealt with that one after the respawn.
And everyone has to retreat, so you can't play off the vision. So you can kind of see that, like, DCG have ideas of what they want to do. Just unfortunately not expecting KC to be as aggressive as they have.
Therefore, a date with T1 tomorrow. Callista will get hit by that bone skewer, sidesteps the Deadly Flourish though, and not too much going to come of it as in goes Pop 9. Looks for the angle, but out goes Callista. He's absolutely safe as Canna getting into that back line and should be taken out here. They get the kill on the Renekton. Can they get more though? That's the question as Hongso is going to go down, and it's now KC's turn to fire back. Callista with the wild growth is not going anywhere anytime soon, and it's a triple for Yahoo on this Talia.
As he continues his onslaught.
Yeah, I don't think this one is lasting very much longer. It has at least got past 30 minutes, but KC knocking on the door of the DCG base. And Florin, I don't think he's going to be able to hold on. Shousey as well. I mean, he's made of paper at this stage of the game. the problem with being Pyke, you have kind of no choice in that department as Busio takes a little bit of damage. Florin is trying to keep himself alive, able to get back over to that fountain, but unable to now protect these Nexus turrets that will be taken out. Now it's a naked Nexus. KC can see the victory here as Yike goes down to the GA. The curtains being called here, and the snipe does come on through. Callista's taken out, and maybe the curtains have been denied as DCG keep themselves alive in this game, at least for a few moments more.
In 10 seconds. Oh, wait.
Oh,
Bong? Bong?
Oh dear, seismic shove, and that is just a Jhin. Very, very dead. Supreme display of talent. Yeah, it did look... It was Supreme. He managed to take down the Talia at least. So
yeah,
a 1-for-1 as a result. Does that mean that DCG now have an angle towards the Baron? He's going to just build up some rage here. Has some honey fruit there as well. There's the red bar. He is very scary, but this Baron is going down. And that is going to be secured by Pop9. So a Baron against the flow of play. First one to go over to DCG so far this game. Mighty wouldn't. Looking at Nexus turrets respawning relatively soon, I guess. But Weaver's Wall going to come on through as Kana just flashes over the wall, gets on top of Hongso, and that is the main carry down for DCG. Can Kana keep himself like getting to that backline as Florin taken down to under half health so quickly. Man, Callista does a lot of damage at this stage of the game. And in goes Yike one more time. Florin with a big shield trying to stay alive, trying to be that front line, but he's taken out. Now into zombie form as he's trying to stay relevant, but it doesn't work. Fung also just not a whole lot that Jhin can do at this stage of the game either, as the wallet's looking extremely heavy. The Supreme display of talent is not named effectively in this moment, as there is at least a little bit of a kill there for Xiaoxi before they do go down, and it's a 3-0 for KC.